Who remembers being a kid and being in the computer lab and going to poptropica.com? This was the game to play as a kid. This was peak. This was pure gaming, and this was the best game to go on if you wanted to just waste time and not actually do any of your work. It was so fun. It was bright, vibrant. It was full of tiny little quest lines, storylines, funny little moments. It was comedic. It was during the time when everyone was either playing Poptropica or Club Penguin. Those were the two games that every kid was playing, no matter who you were. You didn't have to be a gamer. You didn't have to, be into playing on all those games on Miniclip or Cool Math games. This was the game for every child to play during class. You could hop around with your character. You could collect cool items, like little cosmetic items for your character. You could create a whole new character every single time and still have a great time playing it. It was actually awesome because it didn't feel like something that you had to finish there. Every time you left the computer lab or you left class and coming back to it, it didn't feel that, I have to start again. It actually felt like, okay, I'm starting a whole new thing again and I can just do a whole different adventure this time. And this game is still ongoing. So if you're a parent watching this, your kid is probably playing this during class, which is completely fine. They don't need to learn anything. They just need to play this game. That's it. So let's kind of dive into the history of Poptropica very briefly. That's how I do all these videos. I'm not a video essay person. I'm more of a commentary. I like to dive into things that interested me and that I've played in my past that I just want to share. And I think other people are interested in that. So that's how I am approaching these videos if you're new to my channel. And I think there's enough video essayists. I think there's enough of those. I think we're at the peak of how many more we need. Poptropica came out in 2007 and it was developed by Jeff Kinney. Yes, the guy who made Diary of a Wimpy Kid made this game. It was his baby. It was his prized possession. This was his game. He made it. And I'm not even joking. Like, go to Wikipedia right now and you will see it's the same guy. It's literally the same guy. And you can kind of see the similarities between Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Poptropica. Because the way that the characters are designed, like the head is like weird, big, circular, and the arms are just lines. Very similar on how they all look. So you can kind of see that. You can kind of see his art style in that way. So it was developed by him in 2007, and in 2015 it was bought by Pearson Education. I don't know if Poptropica is an educational game. I did not learn things from it. I do have memories of collecting cool cosmetic items and learning that completing quests gives you cool hats. But I don't know if it's educational. But is Pearson Education just strictly educational? But I mean, even like Pajama Sam, Freddy Fish, they were educational, but they were mostly just there to be fun, I think. But they actually had lessons in them, like counting and spelling, and obviously. But I don't remember. I think I have memories of being in a haunted house. I have memories of being in a mythological setting on a mythological island in Poptropica, but I don't remember too much education. But maybe there was. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's more education now in the game than before when I was playing it. I was probably I had to be 13 or something playing this game. I'm 25 now. But yeah, that's very interesting. So if it is educational now, that's great because learning is fun. And Pajama Sam and Freddy Fish are fantastic educational games. I feel like there's a term that I'm missing here. I'll put it right here for those types of games where they're fun but educational. Those were very popular during this time as well. I played those heavily as well. I played Freddy Fish more than Pajama Sam. I think I played it briefly, Pajama Sam, but I was more of a Freddy Fish and that purple car, whatever that guy is, I forget. But yeah, I played those two more. So actually playing Poptropica, you are immediately met with the site, poptropica.com. You create a character. Initially, you kind of have some options. You just kind of change your skin color. You can have like different eyes, like ones with eyelashes and whatnot. You can change your hair. You have some clothing tops that you can choose from, and then you enter. So you are immediately met with your character being, well, after selecting an island, of course, you are on a air balloon, a big airship, and you're met with this really cute little cutscene of the little airship. I think that's just loading, and then you're dropped in to whatever island you chose. And on each island there's sections for adventures and different stories on each island, and like there's a main enemy on each of these islands. And you're the protagonist. You are the singular protagonist on all of these storylines. You're there to save the day. You're there to figure out the mystery, solve the puzzles, figure out with all the clues that you're given throughout the game what's going on and how to fix it. I remember playing the haunted house. I think it was a haunted house, and I remember there was like some puzzles that you had to like jump around, and there's like hidden stuff. Like you take your character, you go outside, and you kind of jump around onto the roof, and there's like little platforming mechanics within the game, and it's very creative. It's very nice. Like the art style is very good. The design of like the islands are really creative. I think the only one that I know that isn't very creative, I think there was like a Pop-Tart island that existed at some point. I think it was removed later on because people noticed it was the only island that was very small and didn't have enough content to even play on it. So I think that was removed, and if it wasn't, that's kind of funny. Because I still see Reddit posts on the Pop-Tart island being pretty shitty, but they wouldn't say shitty. No one swears in that game. So Poptropica also has a chat feature similar to other online games, but it's different in the way that other Poptropicans, the players, talk to each other. So when you're having a conversation, you're only having it in the common room in Poptropica, and in here you only get a set of options to choose from to speak to another player. They're all pre-selected questions and answers that you have to other players. You're not typing, it's all pre-selected for you, for the players, so there's less, likely for unneeded conversations between other children that are playing this game, because mind you, this is a game for children, targeted towards children, like tweens and below. So it makes sense why they would always choose like an option of, instead of having them type messages, they're only given pre-selected conversational points instead. This is to avoid profanity and bullying. I just wanted to add that in here as another plus for Poptropica, because I honestly forgot that there was chatting in this game at all anyways. So it's funny to read this now and be like, oh yeah, I guess that is what it was. But yeah, when I was playing this as a kid, I didn't even, remember, like, I don't think I even spoke to anyone on this game. You're just mostly on here playing the game itself, right? So yeah, that's another added bonus for this game. So yeah, just wanted to add that in here. That was also a feature on Club Penguin, but that was also heavily moderated, but you could also like get around being banned anyways. Like there's various reasons why Club Penguin shut down. Yeah, Poptropica, it's actually pretty impressive on how well they've been able to keep that game together for so long. I've been trying to figure out if Poptropica is even remotely related to Pop-Tarts, because that's in the name, right? No. It's not related to it at all, but I truly believe it was just something to do with Pop-Tarts. They had a Pop-Tart island, and it makes so much sense to me. I'm like, that's should be the main island, but they're not related to Pop-Tarts at all. Very confusing. So yeah, I'm just pretty much gushing about this game because one, it's still ongoing, so there's no section of me, talking about why it shut down or potential theories on why the game closed or whatnot. No, it's just, this game is awesome. I love this game so much. I loved it so much. It's one of the few games that is actually safe to play if you're a child, which is actually almost non-existent at this point. Like, what other online game is purely safe for a child to play? Because if you're gonna say Roblox, I'm sorry to tell you, but there's weirdos on there too. There's that's it. That's like, the bar is Poptropica. Like, Roblox, I'm sorry, but like, there's, for some reason, grown adults on that game, even though it's targeted towards children, right? You would think, but it's like, they're on there, they're having like sometimes too much of like personal conversations with children on there. There's many cases like that, too many cases like that. Roblox also has its own economy, by the way. It's becoming like Second Life Roblox. That's a whole other basket of, I was gonna say worms. That's a whole other rabbit hole. I think that's the proper analogy there. Yeah, Roblox is becoming more like Second Life. It's very funny how that always tends to happen with these types of games. I'm happy that Poptropica is still like the last bastion of actual game for kids that's actually creative and fun, and it's actually something that you can feel okay letting your kid play on, because you have to, letting your child play Roblox or even Fortnite or any of these games that have like chat rooms or like voice chat, you have to be very careful, and you have to like make sure you're monitoring what your child is typing, saying, who's saying what to them. Yeah, so please practice internet safety. Of course. But yeah, it's very interesting, and I hope this game, stays around for as long as possible, because it has really cool features. Like, you can always create a new account on that game. You can even, without even having, you can even play the game without creating an account. You can just hop on and it'll just be there ready for you. You can play it for free. You don't have to pay anything to play the game at all. It's very cool, because there's also aspects of video games now that are heavily microtransactional. Like, they're free to play, but to actually play the game and to actually have fun, you have to pay money, right? Or you get so many ads that it's just unbelievable to even open. Like, everyone was playing Wordle. I downloaded that game and I open it, and every second was an ad. Like, is this the game everyone's playing? Because I thought I downloaded the wrong one. I'm like, oh, did I get like the scam one? But it's the one with the most downloads, the most reviews. So I'm like, okay, this has to be it. But there's like so many ads. And I understand these companies have to make money. So it's just like, there has to be a balance, I feel like. Especially with kids, playing games like Fortnite, there's so many skins, items you can purchase, and it's very heavily, monetized. It's very heavily microtransactional. You will have your kid come up to you and be like, Mom, I want some V-Bucks because I want to get this new skin that everyone else has, right? So it just feels very like there's not enough games that are targeted towards kids that aren't as heavily microtransactional, and that are free to play, because there's a balance. And of course, the company that makes the game has to get paid. So it makes sense to have like VIP or like little membership things, but you're gonna end up like Habbo. Where everything is like, there's a balance, because Habbo failed because everything costs too much, and then to even have like certain items in the game, it's all behind this Habbo membership. So then there has to be like, okay, like there has to be a middle ground. There has to be, because I know it exists, I know it's possible, but we live in a time where everything costs so much money. But all this to say is that Poptropica is fantastic, and I love it. I loved it as a kid. It was very open. It was very, it was free to play, and it was like teachers didn't really care, if you were playing that during class, because they knew that it was safe to play. It wasn't like I was loading in Call of Duty, right? And just hopping onto the lobby just to, have a nice conversation, very peaceful, right? But this was mostly just to kind of gush about the game, and it's good to have a good, video about like something good. Nothing terrible. It's not like an IMVU video where I'm just like, why does this exist? Like, why did anyone make this? How could anyone make this? Why is this real? You know, this is a video of pure joy. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Okay, that's it. Bye.